Oh, goodness. It's Tips Tuesday with Laura Rubenstein and Tessa Ashford. Hi, Tess.
Hello, hello.
And of course, as you see, we're talking about local listings. Huh? What is that? And why do we need it? And why are we even talking about it? And by the way, happy Christmas week.
Yes, happy holidays.
So, what are local listings in the first place?
Well, a local listing is basically just like in a phone book when you used to pick up your yellow pages or your white pages, right? And you looked up a business. Local listings are those line items where you are located and how to get in touch with you. Digital world now is all about Google local listings, or how Google finds you. If you don't tell Google where you're at, they'll never be able to really find your website for the most part. So
So,
it's a way to
Yellow
find you.
Pages is an example of a local listing, but other things are like that, like Yelp and Thumbtack and all these other places online where you could have your name, your address, your phone number, your URL, any details about your business, so that people can find you. So that when people are searching for your type of business, you show up in one or more of these listings. Does it get you higher rankings or
Yes.
anything? Ah,
Yes. So it's
really?
backlinks. Yes. So for your SEO or your search engine optimization, any website that's linking into you that's also verifying you are who you are, is going to make it improve your rankings on the search engine. So if you're a brand new website and you have nobody that knows about you, you can do a local listing and have 80 to 100 websites start pointing to your website, and then search engine notices, hey, there's a lot of activity, a lot of websites are pointing into here, and the data matches. So it's important, if you have a lot of addresses and phone numbers out there that are wrong, that's actually going to hurt your SEO as opposed to help it. So it's very important to have all of them match, and we call it the NAP, the NAP information for your website. Your name, address, and phone number need to be the same everywhere.
So consistency is key, because then Google, it's like verifying. The more places Google gets to verify you, the more credible you are, the higher they'll put you up. The more popular they think you are, the more useful.
Exactly.
And as more people find you and you're driving more traffic, that keeps you up. So, how does one go about getting local listings, and what do you want to tell us about what they are?
Well, so, and really it is just a listing. It's a directory, right? So it's a listing in a directory somewhere, whether it's Yelp or, like you said, Google, all of these locations that have business listings, it's pointing back to you. What I can say is that there's the easy route and there's the hard route. So hard route, we're just going to start with that. That's you going to these sites and actually putting your information in one by one, setting up a login and password, because you're going to have to do that for every single one. Finding these listings, places where you can put your information is a challenge too. You just have to keep submitting. And then even when you do that, they're not necessarily going to list right away. So that's the hard way, is the manual. You go and update these directories and put all the profile information in. Easy route is something that's going to distribute all of your information out to 100 locations for you. And if you have incorrect information that's out there, which most of us do, not intentionally at all, there's just the internet's trying to populate, right? Yeah. And new addresses are not exactly the same as what maybe you type it in with street, and then the next time you type it in with ST, right? So it seems the way that Google sees that is two different addresses, because they're not exactly the same. So easy route is to have a system that goes out and can populate that for you within 24 hours.
Wow. And that's what we do, right?
We do have that. We have that. So we basically get all of the information should be based on Google local listings. So when you go to Google My Business, you're going to put in your address. It's going to tell you that you need to verify your address, right? So you're going to get a postcard sent to you to that address. And it's really important that it matches the exact address that Google thinks you're at, right? So that's kind of your hub. Everything should surround that, because that's the new norm, right? It's what we all expect. The address that Google has is the one that we're going to use. So once you've verified your business in Google, you'll get that postcard to your house that has a code. You'll go back to Google and verify it. Now you have the exact address that you can go populate the citations with, or populate out with this system, and then it will do all the work for you, matching it to your Google.
Ooh, that's nice. So Google My Business is the new Google Places of the
Yes.
past, and Google whatever they had for your business in the past. And now that, especially that Google Plus is no longer there, that Google My Business came about, and you can put posts up, right? You can put
Yes.
pictures up. You can
Just
put
like a social channel. So it's essentially, it was another social media channel. Google Plus was,
right.
I mean, it actually was very cool because it had neat circle features, but now,
Right. Had that whole connection thing.
right,
It's like a social network without the connection or friends part, which is
exactly.
kind of cool. I kind of like that actually in Google My Business.
But it can't hurt. If you're already pushing out social posts, you could definitely put in fact, it is beneficial because Google is seeing everything that you're doing. It's the big I mean, it literally is touching everything that we see when we go to the internet right now. But if you do post over there, you can post images just like you would on any social media channel. You can post videos too. So you can use it as another extension, but it also shows up in some of the search areas in Google search, right? So it's there, they own it. They're going to give it a little bit better rankings for sure. So I would definitely say doing that, but also specials. So one thing that a lot of people don't take advantage of, even if you are doing the local listings, maybe you're not changing your offerings enough to where it's showing, because as soon as you change an offering, you're actually updating your listing in the system, and it gives you kind of like refreshes everything, right? As far as like, hey, they've got new information, it's relevant. So Google wants the most relevant information at people's fingertips. So it's going to automatically kind of give you a mini boost. So think about what you could maybe do on a monthly basis that you could offer as a special, or maybe just change something, say new testimonial. I mean, whatever you want to link to, right? That you could show Google that you're updating regularly, you're staying top of mind.
So here's a couple of takeaways I've got so far from today. Local listings, you want many of them. You want them consistent, right? And in order to get them consistent, you might want to use a team like us to do it, because we have systems that we can help do it. But before you get them consistent, let's optimize them, right? So let's make sure that they are consistent, but they're also using the keywords that people are searching for.
Exactly.
And let's keep them populated. So especially Google My Business, because it is Google, the largest search engine. And you can put things on there like photos of new product if you're a product person, or blog posts, or just images in general with even helpful tips.
Testimonials, they're great to put out there. Anything that, if you've got customer provided images, are really fun to encourage people to go, send you an image of them using your product. Or
I want to say one more thing about Google My Business and customer photos and reviews. Is that like getting another update on your Google listing? Just getting a Google review. I can tell you that I'm a Google, what do they call that? Google Guide, right? I'm a local guide with Google. I don't know how I signed up for it, but I did. And now when I post a review, it says local guide or something.
Wow.
And then they send me reports on my listings, on my reviews. And they say, your review has gotten 10,000 views. I've never gotten 10,000 views, so rare. But through Google local listings, I get thousands and thousands of reviews just for putting a picture of a lobster, or sushi that I had or whatever. Haven't done that in a while, but we can still do it even when we're in quarantine. Because if you're buying from a company online, mention them. Google
Absolutely.
review. So Google reviews, and we just got some love. Thank you for the love for this. But give reviews. Judith is all about that. So and it's interesting. Robert's asking, how much will it cost in the end? Don't we think that Google has too much power already, and it's just our big brother watching us? Well, it's how you view it. Do they have an ill intent to do something harmful to you? I don't know that. So do they want to monetize you? Yes. Can you avoid advertising in this world? No. So Are they Big Brother? I don't know. I
I
wouldn't say
mean, this isn't any information that you wouldn't, we're talking about business information that you want to be public. So I think there is, to some extent, I think this is the good kind of helpful. Google is definitely going to be able to help your business grow in today's society. We can't really deny that. It's a dominant, like you said, number one search engine. So yeah, I mean, you can be careful about what you're putting out there. That's
Yeah.
definitely worth it.
We're willing to talk with you one-on-one. You can schedule a complimentary demo with us at transformtoday.com/CRM demo. As long as you have a business and you're serious about really getting found online, because if people could find you, they'd buy from you, then this would be an opportunity, one strategy to help that get out there. And you don't have to have a storefront, but you do have to have an address.
Yes. And it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be one. You can use one like a UPS store with a street address or something that's not your home address. A lot of people ask me right now with COVID, everyone's working from home or started new businesses. Like, how do we protect our identity? You can use, it just can't be a PO box. So it has to be a street address, something that you can get an actual card to. There's also virtual business, the mailbox is basically a virtual mailbox that you can get where you don't even have to go to a physical location and pick anything up. It comes digitally to you. So you can use that as an option as well.
Yeah. And we can share more about those with you. I know I just not petitioned, but I got a survey from the U.S. Post Office because I do have a P.O. box and I do have one of those other virtual boxes. And they said, is there anything we could do differently or better? And I said, yeah, let me use a street address.
Right.
So if more of you take their surveys, if any of you have PO boxes and they send you the survey, say that, because they may just listen and start being able to compete, because they really want to compete with the local businesses, because we want our post office to stay in business. Thank you very much. I do like being able to send letters and have them come within a couple of days to a week. So let's support our post office there.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know. Maybe I'll go find a survey online.
See if you can take a survey, or just find a way to make a suggestion to the post office that, yes, we'd love to be able to. I'd buy a post office box if I could have a street address. And you know what? I've tried to send mail, and I think it actually did, because all post offices do have a street address. And then I would just put the street address number and the box number, and I can't remember if I got it or not. I have to do the test again.
But Google's very specific. It does not accept PO boxes, and it takes a little while to do that verification. One thing, though, is that the local listings that we're talking about, they do have the ability to also request that. Now, I would say, is it faster or not? I'm not sure. I usually just tell people to go do the Google local listing themselves, get it all set up, and then do this. But it does have the ability to change that. And again, I'm just going to stress that the fact is, even if you went and built these citations before, if you have these listings and they're wrong, this, having a service that can go fix all the listings within 24 hours. I've had clients that we've spent over 20 hours fixing citations and beyond, trying to get them correct, because you have to go in and change it, and you're going to keep getting dinged by Google for all of those bad addresses. And so if you're curious on how bad your listings are right now, talk to Laura. We have a link where you can go and you can see how many listings you are incorrect that are out there for you.
Because we need to get what's incorrect out there corrected. So our service is going to help you get listed on how many places?
100. And that includes the majors. So like, Yelp. So this obviously is Google as well. All of the big ones. And of course you want to have social media profiles too. Those also count as citations. So Facebook, LinkedIn, they count. This can't go change your social media profiles though. That it's too much passwords in that, but it can link everything together.
Yes, that's the other thing. We want to link these sites back together, and they all ideally link back to your main website. And we're going to be talking in a future Tips Tuesday about the essentials. What is your website essentials need to be to have a findable, searchable website, as well as help out your clients who are coming, on your prospects, and turn those prospects or visitors into leads, and then turn those leads into clients. So we're going to be talking about the website essentials in a future Tips Tuesday. So stay tuned. This has been fun. Everybody have a
Thank
happy, safe
you.
holidays. We'll see you on another Tips Tuesday. And thanks, Tess.
Thanks.